From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why are you a conspiracy theorist? And I said, why isn't everybody a goddamn conspiracy theorist?
This is the real research. Literally have an alien base, and they are literally communicating.
I don't have a whole lot of time.
Have you personally had any experience with interdimensional beings?
What we're thinking of as aliens, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of military intelligence. And they are not what they claimed to be.
We leave you much that is undone.
That's one small step for man.
There are great ideas undiscovered.
Visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars.
Remove one of truth's protective layers.
There's a monolith.
They want the major population centers wiped out.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
One giant leap for mankind.
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Those challenges are yours.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
There are places to go beyond belief. Beyond belief.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Conspiracy Podcast. We don't take days off because reptilians don't take days off. Apart from Ollie, that's taken another day off. But it's okay because I'm joined by the wonderful Nicholas, the Nazi. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, Hitler says his regards, by the way. He loves the podcast, so yeah.
Well, I imagine would be right up his street, to be perfectly honest. I think I can see him getting down with it. But yeah, it's I hope him and Eve are fine. I hope they're doing well.
Yeah, I'll send him regards over. But yeah, no, thanks for having you back on the show. So yeah, we are waiting for the man himself, Ollie. Ollie, where are you, brother? I mean, he's apparently building a trampoline. Not entirely convinced with that one.
I'm not convinced either. I think he's probably stuck in a sex swing.
Yeah, bastard. What? It's been over an hour.
That's the thing. But like, I mean, this is the same guy that's been telling me for the past 2 months that he's been painting his fence. I'm starting to come to the conclusion that Ollie might just be useless at tasks.
Do you think? He says he's a handyman, but he's one of these people that says, I can do it, but builds everything upside down.
Yeah.
You know,
bag of screws left over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The urinal was on the bloody ceiling. It's like, Ollie, mate, nah, doing it all wrong.
Yeah. No, but what have you been up to? What's been going on over in Alien Addict?
Yeah, we've been going through the history of ufology, and we've been doing some watch parties from old documentaries on ufology. That has got me suspended. I'm notoriously known for that. But yeah, I mean, what we're going to be doing on Friday show is talking about this book here. It's a newish book from 2020, but it actually breaks ufology down all the way from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, all the way up to now. And it's almost like child bite-sized pieces, so even a retard like me can understand. So yeah, we're talking about that.
Fucking nice artwork on the cover of it.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a fucking t-shirt.
It is actually. Yeah, awesome. But if you go to any, Sainsbury's, anything like that, you will find this book there. So it's a very mainstream book. So yeah, we've been going through the history of ufology and sort of seeing what they were seeing back then compared to what it is now. So yeah,
I've got to ask you before we go in, because I think we're going to do a little bit of chats about the Mandela effect and stuff like that. So if you read the title and you go, hang on a second, this motherfucker's going to ask questions about fucking aliens, that's not Mandela effect. Just hold your horses. It's fucking 4 minutes 30. Like a while ago, we still wouldn't have got off the dick jokes, so it's fine. Do you think there's a alien spaceship headed towards Earth that's going to arrive in the next month and a half?
No, absolutely not. No, these are stories I've heard all before. I grew up in the 90s where it was the peak of ufology. It's the same thing I keep on hearing over and over again. It's like the 2027 prediction. That's going to be like the massive hype for the next couple of years. Lee, I'm going to be honest with you.
The 2027 thing's weird, though. The amount of people from different areas, not just ufology, from like AI to fucking other, like just futurism stuff that they're popping this fucking 2027 thing out. Although one of the CEOs of Google was saying that he thinks that's going to be when we hit artificial general intelligence, and that was on the Diary of a CEO podcast the other day. I think we played the clip of it last night actually. That date is thrown around, and I find it weird. I find the whole thing weird actually. I think there's something to it. So there's something going on.
Picture back in 1999 where we kept on hearing about the millennium bug, the Y2K.
That's
it's
different.
The same thing.
No, it's not, because that was a genuine technology fuck up where everyone was like, I don't really know what's going to happen here. Like that was a proper suck it and see thing. I would have given you 2012, but then again, did the world end in 2012?
Well, no, but there's two concepts of good point. 2012, nothing really happened, really. And maybe that was the start of a build up to something, maybe. But everyone was saying about it was the end of the world. There's going to be a spiritual awakening. There was a build up. I remember that very, very clearly, and it pretty much ended up to a nothing burger when you look at it. And I think this is the same principle that's happening in 2027, and even what's going to be happening in the next couple of months of whatever's going to be landing on this planet.
I think you could make an argument for the fact that there has been like some sort of awakening.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But is it spiritually, or is it just the fact that people in the public have realized that they've been lied to? Or, I mean, it all started from COVID, didn't it? That was the part where, I think the beginning of where people go, hold on a minute, something's not quite right here. And because the sharing of information, especially with social media now, because people don't believe in mainstream media, so they turn into people like you and other sort of podcasts, and they're getting more or less the same information. And I think now the consciousness has shifted, and it's definitely, I can see that. Even my missus can see that, and she's a flipping normie, for Christ's sake. There is something going on where people are just pissed off. I mean, this is talking about England, first of all. We're in a massive state as it is at the moment. People don't believe in government. They don't believe in mainstream media. The whole perspective, it's gone. It's diminished.
But that seems to be happening all over the world. Like even before COVID, we were seeing uprisings in different cities. We were told it was like riots over tax. We were told it was riots over this, that, and the other. But it doesn't matter. We saw for years leading up to now mass demonstrations in the streets of like tens of thousands, millions of people sometimes just gathering. And I think we haven't hit our moment of that. I think we're due our moment of that now for whatever reason it happens for. I almost think like this, it kind of ties into what we're going to talk about tonight as well. But that's probably a conversation for the end of this show rather than the beginning of it. I think, for as far as like the getting off the fence moment of like what the Mandela effect is and why it's here. I think that's the place for that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the consciousness of it is definitely shifting. I mean, I think I remember rightly when I did the episode on the Mandela effect, I think it all started from, the conspiracy behind this was CERN. The ceremony, because me and Hidden Underbelly's channel, I can't say his name, shouldn't say his name. Hidden Underbelly. Basically, we did an episode on Mandela Effect, and we kind of connected it into CERN, and obviously we showed the ceremonies, weird stuff behind that, man. That's just like weird stuff. It's almost like giving something a permission to come in, and from what the conspiracy behind it, that the fact they probably opened up something. They'd done some sort of test, and we're suddenly beginning to find out there are, like, especially with advertisements and bits and clips of like shows and TV shows and movies, like, I remember that, but it's something different now. And that I've always asked that question to myself: is it something that people have just forgotten, or is it something too much of a coincidence? I should say, isn't it? When you look at it, everyone's saying the same thing. I think this is what I mentioned on the show: is that the fact that people are saying the same thing the reoccurring things, obviously, part of the Mandela effect is. Could you remember Nelson Mandela dying in the 80s? Because you probably would have been born at that time period, right?
I don't remember him dying. I remember him being in prison. No, actually, no, I don't remember because I remember him getting out because I remember it being on the news. So I was only a small child. I remember my dad having to try and ham-fistedly explain to a child because I said I don't understand why everybody's happy because he was in prison, so he must have done things that were wrong. And that was it's just as a child thinking, well, no, he went to prison, so he must have been sent to prison because he was a criminal. Why are people excited about him getting out? And that was my dad was trying to explain to me about like how sometimes people are targeted for things that they shouldn't be targeted for and stuff like that. I mean, to be perfectly honest, like you look back on various like moments, and I think it's something you definitely do because when was Nelson Mandela released?
I think it was like the 90s, wasn't it? I believe probably the late 80s, I would imagine. But I can't remember. It's just some people just said, "Oh, I can remember him dying," and the announced
1990. So like I was 7 or 8, like 7 or 8, and it shows that there's certain things that probably when you look back on them like now, I go, oh, that must have had an impact on me. Like look at the way I think about now, the way I think about government and power structures and stuff like that, and the fact I can remember questioning why was somebody in prison that shouldn't have been there, or why are people happy someone's been released from prison because they must have deserved to have gone to there in the first place. It must have been like a formational moment for me because if it wasn't, I wouldn't remember it. I wouldn't remember it so clearly.
Yeah. So you don't remember him dying. It's just the fact that why he was in prison and the consequences of why he was in prison. I mean, here's another typical example. For instance, the quote from Empire Strikes Back, Luke, I am your father, right? But actually is no, I am your father. However, if you go to a YouTube video where there is a live recording of that moment in the cinema, and he actually says, Luke,
a live recording
I am your father.
Cinema. Do you have that?
Yeah, I can bring it up. He actually says Luke, and it's completely different. I'll bring it up. I'll try and find it. But there's so many different coincidences that we're conspiracy theorists, Lee, aren't we? We're like, it's always a coincidence, you know what I mean? Or no, there's no such thing as coincidences, I should say. All right, let me just try and find this for a moment. Star Wars. Have you heard anything from Ollie yet? Is he finished making his sex swing?
No, it turns out he's just gay. That's it. It's the only possible answer. I found a good one here. I've got a website that I might bring up in a second when you brought that up. But this is a particularly good one. I've never heard of. Shaggy from Scooby Doo. Do you remember him having an Adam's apple?
No. Oh yeah, I do actually.
See, I remember it as like the big gulps. You know, oh, gee, Scoob, that type of thing.
Yeah.
It turns out never had an Adam's apple. That's a really wild one for me.
Oh, right. Huh. Well, I'll tell you what, this is a wild one. This is an actual reaction in the cinema in 1980 in Star Wars. Do you think you get a copyright for this? I'll skip ahead.
No, it's a podcast. We're fine.
All right, good. Well, it's up there, man, if you want to go bring it up. So, if I remember rightly, it's the original quote. Well, the quote that we're hearing now, it's no, I am your father. But we keep on hearing it as Luke, I am your father.
Yes,
so let's have a little listen.
No, just quickly before you play this, not only do we think it's that, James Earl Jones played Darth Vader, didn't he?
Yes, he
and
did.
There is an interview with him. I'm probably going to like muck this up slightly here, but as part of the interview when he talked about the dialogue he was given, and like, they were talking about that movie. He said, "Yeah, he said, I didn't know what was going to happen. You know, we were excited to find out where the story was going to go." He said, "Then I read that line of like, Luke, I am your father," and he said it, and you go, right, okay, the guy that's read the script has now got it wrong.
This is it. So should we see what's the right answer? Let's do this. So this is a live reaction in 1980 in the cinema.
Join me, and I will complete your training. With our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy. I'll never do. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you, kid. No, Luke. I am your father. No.
There we go.
That's what I remember. That's it in my reality. God.
There we go. All right, just play it one more time.
Luke,
Wait, go for it. Just confirm.
No, Luke. I am your father.
No. So yeah, there we go. Look at that. So unless they changed it on purpose, I think it is. Shall I play it one more time just to see if they actually edit it in?
Yeah, it sounds right. It sounds like it's been recorded, you know, on a video camera in a cinema. Because this is the thing. I know people are going to turn around and say, "Oh yeah, well, what were people doing live reactions for in cinemas back then?" This is how fucking pirate copies were made back then. People, pirate copies were made by people sneaking video cameras into cinemas and sitting there through the cinema, and then you would go and buy the worst copy of a movie to watch at home.
Because with the VHS tapes, it would be a copy of a copy of a copy. It would just deteriorate the quality.
Yeah. In fact, this is a pirate copy would have been fucking primo, wouldn't it?
It would have been, actually. Should we just see if it's actually sounds edited or not? Should we just go back?
Go for it again. Time? Yeah, absolutely. That's fucking wild.
No, Luke. I am your father. No, Luke. No, Luke. No, Luke.
No, it sounds legit to me, mate.
Sounds legit to me.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. So that, I mean, look, going to be honest with you, George Lucas at the time was notoriously known for actually changing a lot of stuff. But this is just one word, but it's something that George Lucas probably would have done, or Disney. Obviously, Disney owns Star Wars now. But yeah, I found that really interesting. So this is what you just heard is a live cinema reaction in 1980, and he does say, "No, Luke, I am your father."
The C-3PO one's pretty crazy as well.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't know about that one because I remember watching Star Wars back during the special editions. This is where I first started getting into Star Wars because it was 1997 where he changed everything and they brought out the VHS tape. I don't know if the original has the... Was he all gold? Or was it the silver leg?
He was all gold to me. I've still got a money box. I've still got a Star Wars money box at my mother's house, and C-3PO has 2 gold legs. I have that.
I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I love the originals.
I had the bed sheets as well. I had the bed sheets.
It's kind of gaily, no offense.
I mean, not like on the bed now. And there's nothing gay about Star Trek. It's like the least gay thing is like the protagonist of the show going, "Yeah, it's my sister, still gonna hit it."
Oh, you're talking about Star Wars here, the kiss scene, the infamous. Yeah, but he didn't know that was gonna happen though. But it's still
Didn't he? I think he probably did. I think he was just like, "I'll stay quiet till I get a blowy."
Oh, but he did make what's her name, Carrie Fisher, who was pretty banging during Revenge of the Sith. In that bikini.
It's fucking. She's fucking. I don't just mean age because obviously people get old and stuff like that, but just not even like she's. Let's just say Carrie Fisher is as ugly on the inside as outside these days.
She's dead, I mean, I know she's dead, but yeah, she didn't age that well. I mean, drugs do that, but man, she was slamming back in the day.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Is there a Mandela effect?
Is she dead?
Her? Yeah, she's dead. Died 2000. She was part
Oh
of the
no, I'm thinking of
2016
somebody
club.
else. No, I'm thinking of somebody else. I'm thinking of what was the woman from fucking True Lies?
Natalie Portman?
No,
I don't know.
she
True
was in
Lies?
fucking Borderlands movie as well. She's got like 2 trans kids and stuff there now. She's fucking like.
Oh God, I wouldn't know, mate.
She's in the fucking proper crazy fucking celebrity group. Sorry, Carrie Fisher, I mixed you up with somebody else.
That's fine. She wouldn't give a shit anyway. She was
Dead.
pretty much, dead and drugged up.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. But I tell you what, another Mandela effect here. Laughing cow. We like a bit of laughing cow. Do you like a bit of laughing cow, Lee?
I remember did Laughing Cow do like a toffee?
No, it's cheese. Spreadable cheese.
Oh,
something
yeah,
that
sorry,
Ollie's been doing at the moment.
Yeah.
So he's definitely spreading that cheese out. But yeah, apparently, I mean, if you put in the laughing cow, in fact, I've got a photograph here I can bring up if you wanted to, just to show you, because it might ring a bell, Lee. You're thinking, oh, I've seen that product in the supermarket.
Yeah,
Check this out.
Get it.
The laughing cow rings a bell.
Yeah. You're gonna tell me you're gonna tell me there's never a ring in that cow's nose?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yes, I remember definitely a nose ring. Definitely a nose ring. But
I remember that 100%.
So that's it. See, we both remember that, and so many people, even my mum, will say, "Oh yeah, she definitely had a nose ring." It's the same with the guy with Pamela Anderson. I swear to God, she had bigger tits than that.
Yeah, like the big one. Obviously, I never watched this, but one of the other confusing ones for me was the Sex in the City one. Sex in the City, Sex and the City. Like
Sex and the City.
Yeah,
the movie.
Well, and the TV series. Like I remember it as Sex in the City. I remember it being massive when I was younger, and it just wasn't. It was always been Sex and the City. So what we're watching, we're looking at lots of pictures of Pamela Anderson here, which is fine.
Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry, I don't know why I was doing that. Yeah, but it's just a point. I'm pretty sure her tits were a lot bigger than that. But yeah, she was still slamming back in the day.
I'm not sure that's a Mandela effect.
It was for hidden show. I just want to show a bit of fucking cleavage and all that. But yeah, rocking back in the day. Sorry, what were we talking about? I tell you, I was off track then.
You fell into a trap of looking at pictures of old fucking Bammy, didn't you? Do you know what the cure? Do you know what the cure is for looking at old pictures of Bammy? Like, look at one modern picture.
Yeah, but I have to admit, she stopped using makeup and she's moved away from that sex appeal look and started to embrace her true self, which, honestly, I've listened to her in a podcast. She sounds extremely sweet and quite mature. I was going to put a picture up on there, Oliver. But no, I mean, fair play to her. Apparently, she's in... she is in the new Naked Gun movie.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But apparently she's having a bit of a swing with Liam Neeson. I don't want to talk about celebrity facts. No, I don't. No. But yeah, this makes a really good point here. The molecule behind the... What's his name? The Monopoly man.
Mr. Monopoly.
Yeah. I'm not too sure about the molecule.
Monopoly was the first board game I ever really played. Proper board game. There might have been some Ludo, like in between. But yeah, like that's Mr. Monopoly has always had a fucking monocle in my world, and apparently Mr. Monopoly has never had a fucking monocle, and also Pikachu never had a black tail.
What? No, he had definitely had a black tail. Definitely 100%.
Yeah, no black tail for Pikachu. No fucking dash for Kit Kat ever.
That's the old one, isn't it? Is that American one though?
This is the American one, but just in general, Kit Kat's never had a fucking dash in the middle of it. Apparently, not having that one either. The Fruit of the Loom one. Now, the Fruit of the Loom one is fucking dead interesting. I was talking on DMs this afternoon with Danny Mercy from the Rabbit Hole podcast about the Mandela effect.
Yeah,
and she hooked me up with a video which I should have had ready, but I'm not going to find it on Insta, and I'm Just not going to go and look for it. Go look for it. Or if you don't trust me, or if you do trust me, just trust me implicitly and believe I'm telling you the truth. But there was a woman found, like, who was so fucking upset with the idea that the Fruit of the Loom logo never had a cornucopia on it, which I remember it having a cornucopia, that she went fucking and tore her house upside down, and she found one of her old T-shirts with a Fruit of the Loom logo on it with a cornucopia, and she recorded it and put a video out on the internet for everybody to go and watch. So there is, on this one, genuine proof of the of the Mandela effect.
That's crazy. That's because I remember seeing that when I was a kid. That Fruit Loop. I wasn't really so sure what it was about, but yeah, that's a crazy one. Yeah, that's the Star Wars one you're talking about. Yeah, I remember it being silver. It's not silver, gold.
That's just not right. And the funny thing is, like, I had loads of Star Wars toys. Toys are always really good for being accurate with things. Do you know what I mean? Like toys, but there's no way, if you're a kid, and kids get fucking hung up on little things. I remember, like, the old Power Rangers toys, like when I was young and Power Rangers first started, like, kicking them. They had the power coin of the Power Ranger on the chest of the toy, you know, like almost like an like Superman's logo, like slap bang on the chest.
Yeah.
And this fucking hung me up for fucking decades until I stopped playing with toys, essentially, because I hated the fact that they didn't look like what was on the television, because obviously Power Rangers on the television just has the white diamond on the chests, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Not with the big coin in the middle of it. And I hated the fact that the toys didn't look like the TV show people. And this would have been a hang up. This would have been another one of those things. Like, hang on a second, he's not got his fucking silver leg.
Yeah. Because like I said, I'm a big fan of Star Wars, especially the original, and I don't remember it being silver. Really don't.
Yeah. There's
Flintstones. I think we debunked that one, right? I mean, not debunked it, but I think we confirmed that one, that Star Wars one.
I mean, again with the Life's Like a Box of Chocolates, that's a fucking wild one as well from Forrest Gump. It just
if life was like a box of chocolates, right? Was right. I'd never seen it.
Oh, did you not?
I've never seen Forrest Gump.
It's
any
overrated.
Good?
It's overrated.
Okay. Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Mirror, mirror on the wall was apparently Magic Mirror on the Wall.
Oh, right.
So that, again, something I'm not having. This one's pretty wild. I'm not the biggest Queen fan in the world, but I know if you listen to the end of We Are the Champions, it sounds wrong.
In what way?
He doesn't sing that line like the. I'll read this passage for our audio listeners. The Mandela effect here, to ruin that, is we all think of Freddie Mercury belting out "Off the World" at the end of "We Are the Champions," but he doesn't. He sings those lines during the chorus, but not at the very end of the song. However, Freddie does add that line to the end of the song during the band's famous Wembley Stadium performance. But whenever I hear that song, it feels like there's something missing, and I don't know. I've no idea. There's a few here that I don't fucking know. That's always quite the weird one, isn't it? I've known this one for ages. That Captain Kirk never says "Beam me up, Scott." He's always "Beam me up, Mr. Scott."
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Your favorite line from The Wizard of Oz that actually doesn't exist is a collective memory. Toto, I've got a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Never seen the movie, so I can't say, to be honest with you. I thought he had sunglasses on. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
no. I think the sunglasses thing, that's for Tom Cruise in Risky Business when he's doing that silly dance. There's just so many of them. Like, there's And this is the thing. I don't believe all of these are people remembering wrong. This is a wild one as well. Perhaps the most memorable during the 1980s is the Tiananmen Square protest. Recollections of the event vary. Some say that undefined man known as Tank Man was run over and killed. I thought that as well, because I thought that was the point of it, that he was run over.
Yeah.
But
I've never seen the footage, to be honest with you. Never seen the footage.
No. I mean, the thing is, and to get more into this stuff, is I'm still unsure. Like some people say, like, well, you get a 2012 thing, the world ended in 2012, so you get 2 time things. There was actually a young kid. I should have dug his clips out, and we should have played them on the show, but I couldn't find them. They're really difficult to find now. Actually, there was a young child genius that was doing the circuit in the sort of mid 2000s, and he basically had a theory about how our reality ended in 2012, but you can't have a reality just end. So our reality collapsed into another reality. And that's what, so what we're living in now is this kind of amalgamation of the two, I think is what he means. It's either that or, and you've essentially got I would liken it to, if you put petrol in a diesel car, and you don't put too much in it, so you top your tank up, and you've got to kind of just like run it through until you get rid of the petrol, and you're back to diesel again.
Yeah,
that's what I kind of think is, if I've got it right, is what his theory was about this. That reality is that the two realities just kind of mesh together, and you've got to kind of just wait until the old reality kind of works itself out.
Right. Okay. But why would it affect advertisement?
Because certain things will change. So like the idea of it would collapse into a reality that was almost the same as it, but like in the other reality, my LEDs are pink.
Yeah, I think there'll be more of a drastic change. I mean, I understand. I mean, if you say to the Mandela effect to anybody else in the public, like normies, for instance, they'd be like, "What the fuck's that?" Like they're not really aware of it.
No, I disagree with that, mate. I think it's a pretty mainstream conspiracy theory now. There's too many. There's too many like YouTube top 20s and stuff like that. YouTube like top 20s for the Mandela effect on YouTube do numbers. Like I think it's like one of the most like mainstream and like conspiracy theories now.
Okay, I'll ask my bootcamp people that. Yeah, yeah, that's quite interesting. I mean, look, for sure, there's something definitely going on. I'm trying to pinpoint where it all started. Everyone goes back to CERN. I mean, the CERN ceremony is very, very strange. I mean, just the whole concept of we're just slamming atoms together to create the God particle. But in one way, you could distort reality. You could open up a portal. And I clearly remember seeing that video. This is donkeys years ago, wasn't it? It was before 2012, wasn't it? That little kid.
Yes.
He was really young. He was like 12 years old. And he was talking about what you were mentioning, that the fact that the realities can collapse on itself, so to speak. But in my opinion, I think there'll be more of a drastic change. This is the one thing with Mandela effect. Why is it affecting advertisements? Why is it affecting certain words in TV shows? I think there'll be more of an outcome because you are dealing with reality here. I mean, for sure, it might be a carbon copy of what we're seeing now. But why advertisements? Why C-3PO's bloody leg? You know what I mean? You know?
Yeah. No, I get you.
Yeah.
I've always found this quite interesting. So there was a CERN like promotional video, like one of those ones that we're just a science place. We're not trying to blow up the planet. Promise. And yet this grey-haired dude on it sat there in the
right, okay.
thing. Sorry, All right, am I still sharing that? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So fuck you, Google. Just do what I want you to do. Right. We just have to leave it here. Oh, that's fucking clearer photograph though. Oh God, that's irritating, isn't it? I can't drag it down. Oh, motherfucker. So, anywho, there we go with that. Well, we'll just leave that there. So this chap here was just like a panning glance where it goes into his office, and he has this Bond and Mandela thing on his lap. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was. People have said that the reason he's done this is to tell people to go and look at James Bond. Obviously, you've got the Goldfinger Mandela effect. Have you heard of? Have you seen that one? Have you heard of that one with Jaws' girlfriend?
You there, Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah, you went all blank for a minute there. I don't know what happened.
Weird.
Yeah. Yeah. What's that? The golden finger.
Yeah, the Goldfinger one. So the girl Moonraker. Sorry, it's not Goldfinger. It's Moonraker, isn't it?
Okay.
With Jaws in it. And at the end of the film, Jaws hooks up with his girlfriend, and that's like the nice end of the thing. Everybody remembers, because obviously with Jaws having the big metal teeth, the whole pull between the two of them was you had this dainty little like girl, and she smiles, and she has a big set of braces.
Right.
Yeah,
about this. Yeah,
right. But she doesn't have braces, and I remember that. It's a fucking wild thing. Like that's it, because it doesn't even make sense without the braces.
I don't know, because I think with a lot of these movies, could you not get the original VHS tape and find out? This is it.
Yeah,
with that,
that's
you can easily find out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's happened, is it? Oh, it's actually been.
Yeah,
right.
She doesn't have the braces anymore.
It's the same with the Berenstein
If
Bears
you do us a
logo.
favour, mate, just to help me tomorrow when I'm editing this podcast, if you can stop breathing into your microphone really heavy, that'd be amazing.
Oh my God! I might just say, do you want to put the thing on?
The what?
The echo cancellation. Oh my God! Is it picked up? Is it?
No, it wrecks the sound of the recording with that stuff on it.
Okay, that's cool. But yeah, same with the Berenstein Bears logo.
Yeah.
That's changed as well quite a bit. In terms of like one letter, which is kind of weird. Why the Mandela effect would just specifically pick that one letter. I don't know. I just find the whole thing weird.
See, I've got a theory about it. I think the idea of different realities when we smash particles together, like bleeding through into ours, I can believe that. It sounds just sci-fi enough to be real. However, I also wonder whether this is a mass psyop, because I don't see. The thing is, I don't know whether you don't need the original memories to even be real. If you have people that want to put false memories in people's heads. Do you know the same way as like when you watch like a Darren Brown thing, and it'll be like the next thing is he gets he's done his whole trick, and then at the end of the trick he was like, how did he do it? And it's like you see him. There was an advertising one where he got a team of advertisers both to make exactly the same advertisement, independent of each other, speaking to each other. Yeah. And then when you watch how the journey to work unfolded, and he had different people propped up, set in certain places. There was signs saying things repeatedly and things to get these things in people's heads. So maybe that's what's happening with this. So maybe there's been loads of times where Luke, I'm your father has been placed places to get into people's heads, so we remember it as that, but it was never that. It is actually it's what we think of, like, that happened in my reality. That's what's the false memory that's been implanted. The reason for this would be if you wanted to, if you were malevolent and you wanted to like discombobulate a large group of people, imagine how good that'd be for it. Because you'd never know what was wrong. You'd never know what was wrong. It's just all of a sudden like the fucking the Ford sign, like Ford on the Ford has got this like strange little curl on it, doesn't it? I've never fucking noticed that before in my life. To me, that's not there. And I like cars. I've always liked cars. But the reason you do it is it would just be this permanent fucking confusion thing going on. This permanent state of like, when I was speaking to Danny this afternoon about it, I said it would almost be like somebody creeping in your house every day. Whenever you put your car keys down, just moving them slightly. You put them on the table. No, they're on the couch now. You write, you write a letter on the fridge, and it's like, yeah, but it's still on the fridge, but it's on the bottom of the fridge when you put it on the corner, and you just carry on living in this reality, going, it's just something. Like I didn't do that. I didn't put that there. And
it's been going on for a long time. Cause, yeah, sorry, mate. Carry on.
Yeah, no, carry on. Sorry, I've done enough talking.
yeah. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. We've all had that situation. Like, I'm pretty sure I put the car keys here, and then suddenly you moved it, and it's moved to a different direction. I'm thinking, how the hell? I don't remember doing that at all. But at one stage, I think to myself, is it just the minute details that people have? I mean, for instance, the Ford logo is such a minute detail. I think it probably goes over a lot of people's heads. If I'm thinking about this, debunking this sort of Mandela effect, same with the Berenstein Bears. It's just like one letter that's changed in that.
Yeah,
it could just be misidentified basically. But I think now, I mean, for instance, the Laughing Cow, the logo, what's that? The fruit logo as well.
Fruit of the Loom.
Yeah, Fruit of the Loom. Yeah, I mean, if you could confirm that, it's the same with. We confirmed with Luke, I am your father. That is, I find interesting. But like with the Ford logo, I'm not too sure on that because it's such a minute, very, very small detail. So I find it fascinating. But in terms of a psyop, Lee, why are they doing a psyop? Is it just to confuse the people? Is it just to sort of keep?
Yeah, like I said, it would keep you in a like a permanent state of confusion, just where stuff is just ever so fucking slightly off.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you couldn't say everything's like a coincidence, but it's too much. Way too.
It would
much
have to, but the thing is, I think it would. If you were using this as like the idea of a system of control, or like part of a system of control, I think it would be just something, just enough to like slightly put people off kilter, because you just like it's one of those things. Like we know what surface level we perceive, surface level reality, surface level consciousness, what we deal with on a day-to-day basis. We also know that things like affect us subconsciously and subliminally. Like look at advertising, the way advertising works. You know, your next thing is you're walking down the road thinking, I could really do with a fucking Coca-Cola, and you don't realize that you've seen like 16 adverts on the way to on the way through the shop. I can't help thinking that even just a letter here, a color there, a fucking line in a movie, a line in a song, it would just slowly chip away at the sanity of people and make their perception of reality different, because reality is changing around you. Even if you don't perceive it, it's changing.
Sure. I think it's one of those subjects where like Mandela effect is such a minute part of like the alternative movement or people's psyche, so to speak. It's not really going to change people's perception of reality, in my opinion.
No, it wouldn't change your perception of reality, but I think it would be enough to give you a sense of unease without knowing it's going on. That's what I mean.
Yeah, and I was trying to think where it all started from, because it didn't just pop out like that. Something must have happened at this time period for people to realize, hold on a minute, something doesn't really make any sense here. Like I said, the Mandela effect, where it all started, because people thought he was dead. Nelson Mandela himself. So I don't know at this point, mate. It's it just keeps on growing. There's always a Mandela effect. I think something new that's coming out, and I think time will tell until I don't think it's ever going to get sold.
Are you? This is one of the big ones that got me. You might not be into it. Did you ever watch professional wrestling as a kid?
On and off, mate.
Yeah,
on and off.
Not like a fan. You wouldn't know Mr. Perfect's real name.
Oh God, no.
No, right.
No idea, mate.
Mr. is, as far as I'm concerned, right? And this is, again, it's just a letter. But Mr. Perfect was one of my favorite wrestlers, like in the 80s, and then he was one of my favorite wrestlers in the 90s when he went to WCW, where he wrestled under his own name, not Mr. Perfect, because it was a different organization. And I know his name was Kurt Hennig. And only 2 weeks ago did I see a photo of him, of his walk in, because I've never seen anyone else mention this Mandela effect. I since went on. There was a few people talk about it on Reddit, but it's never in like any of the top 20 lists and stuff like that. It turns out his name was Kurt Hennig, not Henning. Hennig. And it's just I've watched the video of him doing his walk in WCW, and when his nameplate pops up, like, it breaks my brain because I watched every Friday night in the UK, Monday Night Raw and Monday Nitro, WCW Monday Nitro weren't aired on Mondays in the UK. It was they were aired recorded on Friday evening, and WCW Monday Nitro was on, and they weren't aired at the same time either. In the US, they were on at exactly the same time. In the UK, they were on one after another on Sky, and first of all, it was WCW Monday Nitro, and then straight after that, it was WWF Raw, and that was my Friday as a child. Like, just like for as long as I can remember being a child in the 90s, every Friday, me and my friend Ashley, we'd wait for wrestling to start, and we both sat there with our Hasbro wrestling figures, and we would play with our wrestling figures while we watched like the wrestling on the television. It's just, that's how Fridays went. The only difference that might have happened to one of our Fridays is we might have thrown a pizza into the mix at some point. And but the idea that I've misremembered something so huge that I used to do every weekend, it's beyond the pale to me. I don't believe I have this wrong.
You could have misidentified the name as a kid, but if you're that sure, I could honestly say...
It's not just... See, the thing is, it's not just misidentifying the name as a kid. It would be my friend misidentifying it as well. It would be the fact that we had toys, video games. There's so many things. Like Kurt Hennig was in the... I think it was WCW Backstage Assault or WCW Nitro game. I can't remember which one it was. But like, this is he was definitely in the N64 games, and it was definitely Hennig. It was. Right. That one to me, that's my Luke. I am your father. Like that's my one, because there's very little I know more about than professional wrestling. Like I've always been a fan, and I've always, like, even when I stopped like being into it like a kid, I then got into it in like the performance side of it and stuff. And
sure,
I still like if you look at my personal YouTube, you've got video games, you've got conspiracy theories, and you've got professional wrestling. That is the things that pop up.
Obviously,
crazy.
being a kid at the time, if you're like a massive fan of something, I can't imagine you slipping up a name if you're like that much of a fan. Of
You hyperfixate on things as a child, like
exactly.
You hyperfixate on who they are, This is so to break it down as well, where how in like me and my friend Ashley were with this. So obviously at that point they'd stopped making wrestling figures by that point, because you were still in like the Hulk Hogan days and the Macho Man days and stuff like that. So you still had all those Hasbro figures, but you couldn't buy them in shops. So we hadn't entered like the Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, new generation era of wrestlers yet, like the Monday Night Wars type thing, and there was no there was no toys really being made of it. So me and him used to have to go to car boot sales to try and find old like wrestling figures so we could have toys to play with, because we couldn't find them. So we amassed this massive collection of both WCW wrestling figures and WWF wrestling figures. I still have them. I've got them upstairs in my house now. Before my son got into like modern wrestling and we started buying him the toys of this, he used to play with my old ones. And we were so in. So what we'd do is we'd make sure we didn't duplicate any of them. So we'd have like one set of wrestling figures that we would keep half each for each other. Then we could trade them between each other. So you could have, so like if Razor Ramon was wrestling in my organization, he wouldn't be in my mates. So we could trade people back and forwards like that. Like it was a real thing. Out of all the things, we went through all of the music in the house and we made sure that each individual, we had a spreadsheet. We had a fucking spreadsheet with children. We had a spreadsheet of all the wrestlers' names that we had, and then we got different walk-in musics. So everyone had their own walk-in music as well. Like we were fucking aspy as fuck over this. Like there is no way that if I had been if I was this hyperfixated on something as a child in the 2000s, I would have been on fucking all of the drugs to correct it. Like, I'm just not having that. We got it wrong. Like I'm not having it. Like, it's a fucking wild fucking thing.
Yeah, and it's pretty much in the conspiracy realm at the moment. I mean, people are so sure. It's like, no, you don't understand. I'm pretty like, for instance, the laughing cow. My mum would argue and say, no, I clearly remember back in the 80s and 90s when she came to England. She's originally from France, and she remembered the laughing cow. I said, no, I clearly remember it having a nose ring. The cow definitely had a nose ring. And she's absolutely 100. I mean, she swears on it. I'm like, all right, Ma, okay, fast forward. You know, so I understand people's perception. It's something's changed, Lee, and it kind of feels like something's brewing. I mean, it depends on what country you're sort of living at the moment, but as we're in England at the moment, we just don't know what to predict at the moment. What's been going on. So I think people are more susceptible to the Mandela effect, you know, because I think it's more a relatable conspiracy theory, where conspiracy theories are quite fringe. But when you say, for instance, like the Star Wars quote or anything that I've been talking about today, people can relate to it, you know. So I guess it's an easy way to get the normie people into that aspect of thinking, isn't it? Because they don't really want to think, don't they?
I mean, it could be that easy. I just wonder whether how does this sort of stuff take hold the way that does? You know, it's for me. Do you know what? For me, it's like abductions. I don't know what abductions are. I don't know what the deal with them is. But I'm not willing to just write off so many people on flights of fantasy.
Sure. Sure, there's too many coincidences. I have to admit. I mean, that's one aspect of ufology I haven't really delved into, is the abduction scenarios. I know the stories behind. There's a feeling of a presence. I mean, this book here, look, it shows you a cow or flipping deer being abducted by a UFO.
Mhm.
But from what I've seen from contactees, is more or less a more altering the reality.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that what happens in abductions it happens in the physical world.
This is it. Yeah, there's a good X-Files episode we've been looking into. Me and the missus been watching the X-Files again, and it delved with actually is more or less like the government was part of it, but it's almost like changing your perception of reality to sort of kidnap the person. And is it? I mean, well, some people have been abducted. They've seen like military people, but it's just the way how they gone from being in the bedroom into the craft itself. It's like they've altered the reality,
Yeah,
or the perception of reality itself. And I need to probably do more research. I definitely need to do more research into it, but it's like pretty much like lack of evidence. But if you go through the testimonies from different people, and pretty much they come up with the same conclusion. And I did go to a conference going back a couple of years ago. It was called the Psychic Paranormal Research Society. And it was more or less like trying to find out what abductions and ghost sightings were, but in a more scientific analysis. And there was a parapsychologist there, and she was saying, look, I've had these sleep paralysis, and it kind of mimics what people are seeing as a alien abduction. Like someone's in the room, they're being abducted into transported into like another room, but almost another reality as well. And her experiences, I know she was came from a scientific background, who had this experience, thought she was abducted, but actually was sleep paralysis. So the mind can play tricks on you to a certain degree. Look, I don't believe in all alien abductions, because some of them are probably a bit like, people could dream, man. I don't know. People could have more lucid dreams than anything else. But there has been some very strong cases, like Travis. Oh my god, I can't forget his name now. Travis Walters.
Travis Walton. Yeah. Well, we've
Yeah.
actually had on Alien Edit, we had various people involved in that, didn't we? On the show. In fact, I'm not sure if the podcast were put out for that or not. Maybe. Yeah, that's interesting. Betty and Barney Hill. Me and Ollie brought this up the other day, actually. Like Betty and Barney Hill were, they were out there fucking saying they were abducted by aliens. It very much in a time where if you were in an interracial relationship, you kept the fuck quiet. You kept the head down. You kept the fucking curtains shut, and you hope that people weren't knocking on your door at stupid o'clock at night time with fucking ill intentions.
Good point there, Lee, because when I was doing Alien Addict live show on Friday, I think someone put in the comment section, I said, is it worth looking into Bessie and Barney Hill? And this person, I think it was Rotary, actually. He was going, mate, don't look into it. It's just a publicity stunt. I'm like, well, what you're saying there, the what are they called? Interracial relationship here, you know, back in the 60s was extremely fringe. Why would these couples come forward and say they've been abducted by aliens? What? Because it was just fashionable at the time. They just wanted to get publicity. It's the whole thing doesn't really make any sense at that time.
No,
you think I think the culture behind that, especially the 60s, especially in America, was very fringe, very, very fringe. And you know, Barney being black and Betty being white, that was, well, because we could say at the time non-acceptable, isn't it? Really. So why would these people come forward and say they've been abducted by aliens? Yeah, as a publicity stunt, I don't think so.
I mean, you're. I don't think there was at least any like documented like lynchings that happened in like 1961. Yeah, but you were very much coming out of a time where that was a memory. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
That was like it was an open wound that, and there was a incredible level of like fragility between the relationships between races. I don't see what there is no good can come of that. Do you know what I mean? At that time, there is no good that can come of these people coming out, and that being them. That what's your story? Oh, your story is you were abducted by aliens. That makes no sense to me. Then
there's other stories of people being abducted. I think looking into the history,
massively famous one.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm specifically looking at the time period of 1950s and 60s, and especially in America, ufology was like a mass hysteria. And look, you did have a lot of people faking stuff. I mean, Contact in the Desert, you can find an old documentary of these people that saying that they've been abducted by aliens and they went to Mars and Venus, and these are just like typical average Joe Mo,
Please question, why?
This is it. Is either people had nothing else better to do than to make up stories to try and, you could say, a grift, which is that is part of ufology.
But you talk about a time when that was a difficult time to be alive, especially in the US. If you lived out there in the fucking middle of nowhere, you were fucking hours away from the closest town, but you've got nothing else to do. So what are you going to do? I'm going to try and make you a UFO photograph from a hubcap. Like photography was a niche thing. It was a niche hobby. It wasn't something that everybody had access to. Sure. It strikes me as weird. We have a real problem now, when it comes to looking back in time, and I have this. I have to constantly fucking check myself with the fake like UFO videos that come out round about the 2000s time. I will put Ashton's videos as well in amongst this as well, because you just go say fake. Someone's done that at home. You go, fucking how? And on what hardware and with what software? Because now it's different. Now you can go and spend $800-900 on a MacBook. You can go home. You can install Blender for nothing. If you want to get the Adobe suite, you can pay for the Adobe suite. But like Blender and Unreal Engine, like you can just download and use them. So there is there is a direct path. For instance, you know that big TR3B video where it's kind of looks like it's going through the trees and there's a car going down there, and it looks so good until you realize that the road textures repeat themselves.
Sure.
But you can look at that and you go, oh, that has been made in Blender. Now I know there's a repeating texture. I can even see like the artistic style from that engine. But the 2000s, if you're doing like video work, like faking motion video, that's back in the day where Industrial Light and Magic and companies like that making special effects for movies had computers the size of buildings to do things.
Not necessarily. Look at, for instance, Jurassic Park. This is 1993, so you're looking about early 90s here. You look at the computers that they were used. These were like your typical desktop computers.
They were not, mate. They were not. They were fucking workstations.
Are you sure about this?
Yes, 100%.
I remember, mate. This is probably another Mandela effect. I remember seeing them making this, and it was on. You remember the typical desktop screens?
Yeah, it might have been on a desktop screen, but you don't know what that fucking monitor's plugged into.
Yeah, good point. Actually, yeah.
Because you only have to look at. So when was When was
Jurassic Park came out in 1993, 94, I think. And you look for the.
I think it's 92. 1993.
Yeah, 93.
Right.
I remember that.
So
yeah.
1993. So let's look for PC games.
But I'm going to be honest with you. This is Industrial Light and Magic. No one in the public had that sort of technology, and at least how. So for instance, there's a good point you made about UFO sightings, and especially fake UFO sightings in the year 2000. Back on the Alien Addict, we watched a documentary that came. It was called Best UFO Footage Caught on Tape, and it came out year 2000, and it showed a lot of what was programmed, a lot of fake sightings, especially practical effect sightings. It's so easy
in
to tell now.
1993, in 1993, when they were making Jurassic Park, Doom was melting home PCs.
Look at that.
Doom was the game where you had to update your PC to play it.
Oh, really? You had to update it?
Yeah. The amount of the amount of machines, like Doom was the first 3D game. That was the at the same time Jurassic Park was in the cinema. That was the height of consumer graphics.
And that was on a Macintosh, if I remember rightly.
Probably not. It was probably a PC.
Probably PC. Okay. I mean, this is what any Joe Schmo could have made, isn't it? You know, college art students could have made this. Computer engineers at that time, you know, but
this
they didn't
game?
have access. Yeah, this game. Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Like that was This is fucking id Software. These were the fucking cutting edge guys that were fucking breaking fucking coding and like making all these weird and fucking wonderful ways to make this thing run.
Because I would have thought, I mean, now anybody can make games these days, you know, looking really good. So I would have thought these were probably like college art students, you know, or computer engineers.
Like this is, I mean, it was an emerging industry, the video game. But what my point is the fact that this game was like burning PCs to the ground because they didn't have like the fucking graphics processing to do it. Right. The idea that those same PCs that couldn't run Doom could fake like UFO videos.
Sure.
You know, it's a crude estimation, I know. But I think this scales as well. It's the same as the like just render times, like Ashton's videos. Like just if you were using stuff that came out from the MHC for 370 videos of the time, just render times would have been fucking hideous. And people, you might be able to make something that kind of looks like it, but kind of looks like it with fucking accurate fucking wind physics and stuff like that. I'm not having it. I think this is something. Well, the point I was going to make there is with the abduction scenario is it's very difficult when looking at video fakes to think we didn't have access to the technology we have now to make them. I think that's a real problem. Even just looking like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, we just think, oh, anyone's laptop could have done that. You go, no, 10, 20 years ago, anyone's laptop couldn't have done that. But the thing with the abduction scenario is it's very difficult to look back in time to a time before the internet. So you say there was like a UFO hysteria. How is that spreading?
It's basically the mainstream media. Well, at that time, mainstream media. I mean, it had no social media. It's mostly books, magazines. There was a hype behind it. There was especially if you look at like movies back in the day, 1950s, 60s.
Great. Yeah, I get you. But this is my point before. Why? Why was the hype there?
Are we talking about a psyop here?
It feels unnatural.
Feels like feels unnatural. Yeah. I don't know, because I think there was so many UFO sightings at the time, and you got to bear in mind Operation Blue Book, that was basically set up to basically disband any UFO sightings, because there was a mass hysteria, and you can't deny that there was a mass hysteria in America in the 1950s and 60s. And I think Operation Blue Book was to set up to sort of dismiss a lot of these sightings as swamp gas, bloody birds, planets, and stuff like that. But you got to think, why is the hype there? Look, Lee, you can say, look, people had nothing better else to do with their time. You didn't have the internet. This is just a wild assumption. I don't know. I wasn't really born in that time period. No, I was not born in that time period. So you don't know what the perception of people's mindset was at that time. They're in the desert. People that live in like Arizona, in the middle of the desert, they don't have a lot of entertainment, so they can make up these wild stories to sort of get the 50 minutes of fame. Now, in regards of old photographs back in the day, especially these flying saucers, the newspapers would pay good money for photographs of UFOs. This is one thing that I found out. So you do have people faking stuff. I mean, George Adamski is a typical example of that. These real cutting-edge close-up shots of these flying saucers. And he would bring it in, and he made a book about it. So again, and he said he was abducted by aliens, and then you got Billy Meyer. So there's like a reoccurring theme that's happening with the history of ufology. So you could say people are making it up, but you just got to say why. Why they're making it up? Why they're just grifters? They had nothing else better to do. But again, it's just assumption, really. But based upon what I've researched in ufology, it has a recurring theme, I should say. So it's hard to say, man. But there was a hype. But you got to think, why was the hype? I think people just look.
That's what I get confused by.
I think just people more or less were looking up in the sky. They were just interesting to see. And I know the mainstream media, well, I would say mainstream media, like UFO magazines at that time, were really pushing this hard. It's just interesting, isn't it? Space aliens, UFOs, extraterrestrials coming down, visiting a planet. I'll fucking jump on that back in the day. I'll be that sort of person, So, yeah, it's an interesting one, man. It's definitely an interesting one.
Well, I think it's a good time to land this one here.
No sign of Ollie.
No sign of Ollie. He's clearly got stuck somewhere, or something's got stuck in him.
Yeah, there's a wipe down.
Yeah, he is. He is. Well, I mean, I'm used to being let down by Ollie, to be perfectly honest. I've kind of come accustomed to it. I built like this callus up. It's just like, yeah, I'm forever like it's a relationship I don't think I can get out of now. We've got a kid together. The Daily Conspiracy Podcast is here. We can't split up just for it. We've got to ride it out. We've got to fix these problems.
Yeah, but, it's like a marriage for you guys, isn't it? It's like a marriage.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll live with it. I'm sure I'll have an affair now and again. I'll be fine. I'll go like on holiday and stuff like that. He won't ask questions. I won't say anything. We'll be great.
That's who's top and bottom?
I'm not even going to justify that with an answer.
Oh, bless you too. Oh, so you do such a good job, honestly. I mean, keeping the podcast going 5 days a week has been it's thoroughly entertaining, and there's never a shy day of topics we can talk about.
Cheers,
so
buddy. Thank you. It's enjoyable. It's good.
Yeah,
fun.
It's good fun. Always good fun.
Before people go, I want them to leave a 5-star review on the way out the door. It's only right. It's just good manners. If you're interested in joining the Patreon, please follow the link to the Patreon. We are doing a live stream on Saturday just for patrons. If you want to come hang out with us, the way we do the live stream is me and Ollie will have a little chat for a while. You guys can throw some questions in the chat. Then towards the second half of the show, we'll throw the link out into the audience, and then a couple of you guys can jump in, speak to us. You come on the show with us. It's generally what we do with that. If you want to go over to the British Podcast Awards and cast your vote for the Daily Conspiracy Podcast, like loads of you guys have been doing it. I'm doing a deal with you guys to show my appreciation. If you go and subscribe, go and do the voting thing, and then take a screenshot of you voting for us and post it on social media, I will repost that and we will follow you. Other than that, I think that's all I kind of want you to do this week. That's your homework. What's coming up on Alien Addict this weekend, Nick?
So we're going to be going back to the 1950s of ufology to have a little look into that. I'm going to bring out one of my magazines as we're at the beginning of August. We're going to look at the August edition from one of my UFO magazines. So we're going to see what they're saying back then to what it is now, and checking out this book as well through the history of ufology, and might have a bit of a watch party. Some old school documentaries, UFO documentaries. So come check me out on Alien Addict every Friday at 9 p.m. And looking forward to see you on there.
Awesome, buddy. Thanks for coming on. We will be back tomorrow with more stuff for you. I believe we have a guest tomorrow. I'm not going to say who it is in case I'm wrong. But yeah,
It's
we've
not
got
me,
some
is
good, got some good guests coming up though. I'm booking. I've got my fucking little black book out at the minute, so I'm filling that up for people.
Awesome.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye, people.
Awesome. Take care.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Why are you a conspiracy theorist? And I said, why isn't everybody a goddamn conspiracy theorist?
This is the real research. Literally have an alien base, and they are literally communicating.
I don't have a whole lot of time.
Have you personally had any experience with interdimensional beings?
What we're thinking of as aliens, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of military intelligence. And they are not what they claim to be.
We leave you much that is undone.
That's one small step for man.
There are great ideas undiscovered.
Visit asteroids. Visit the moon of Mars.
Remove one of truth's protective layers.
There's a monolith.
They want those major population centers wiped out.
Will you put your left hand on the Bible and swear to God that you walked on the moon?
One giant leap for mankind.
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
Those challenges are yours.
We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
There are places to go beyond belief. Beyond belief.